Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day in the market. It's April 8th, Wednesday. Huge gap up. Huge gap up. Sorry about that. Huge gap up on ceasefire potential deals going on overseas. There's like 26-point gap. Just crazy, like 2.5% or so. Here's Eric's 30-minute chart. He's SPY Day Trading on YouTube. You can check him out. He's got a Discord linked in the description. So I kind of mentioned it yesterday's video. Breaking out of that green was the last algo to break. We'd complete the inverse head and shoulders, the cup and handle. But of course, this was all on news. And so, yeah, crazy. Gap trap, though. The bigger the gap, the more liquidity it likes to build. So today was no exception. Still some trades in there. Not an awful day, but pretty liquidity build type-esque. Premiums were pretty low, though. VIX definitely came down. I think it was in the 20s, like 25, 28% or so. And yeah, so we're well above the 5-day, 20-day, the 200 now. So it really just needs to build liquidity, catch up with equilibrium. I think we're even close to the top of the daily Bollinger. Oh, we didn't quite hit it today. So maybe hit that tomorrow or the next day. We'll see. Maybe sometime this week. So very grindy out this morning. Let's see. I was trying to be very patient, knowing that in advance. And I got purple. Let's see, purple for this not too aggressive selling, but I think it is bearish selling. And then I was looking for the bearish controlled buying, which I got right here with the red, but I think was pretty accurate. And I don't know exactly when I got that. Green I got later on. This gray I had pretty early on. Let's just see where the first trade's at. So 950. 950 I took a call. So yeah, right here. Okay. That's right. I remember that. This was because of breakup purple. This was purple. To me, it looked like it could have been controlled selling. That was bullish. We had liquidity here for a little shoulder, a little inverse head. It broke purple, and I was getting it on a retest, also with gray being the support. So I got it on this candle. Maybe like here, not like right on it, but got it somewhere on there. Looking for a move. If I had green up to here or hive day, it basically immediately reversed, and then I got out pretty quick. 951, yeah, very beginning of this candle, thankfully I didn't hold through that. So $1.25 to 101, and then yeah, I'd already have purple. Then it kind of gave me more confirmation on purple here, because that's where it started to find support. And when it did break here, I considered getting puts. I don't think I did, just because it's so close to purple. And I think this candle was pretty fast. I really remember. Next trade was at 10:05. Yeah, it felt like I was being very patient and but when I'm seeing something, I'm like, I gotta take it. Anyways, so bear is controlling the buying here if it's buying up this red. So I put that down here. Definitely retested this for resistance. That's what I'm seeing. And then we're also climbing up to this purple. There's resistance up here. And so basically a wedge here. There's not structure, but doesn't mean you can't get a nice retrace or zombie trade. So I actually got it on this candle. I think probably right here, somewhere on that 10:05 candle. I got to put. Yeah, 10:05. Got to put. It comes up, and then we get a nice candle down. Actually, just close it on this candle. Just because lack of structure, and ideally red is my close, but we also had this purple here. I didn't wait for that. It just gave me some nice action, and I closed it. It's pretty jumpy on that one for sure. Lack of structure, and yeah, I don't know. So seeing it now, of course, it looks nice coming down, but this is a sketchy trade. And knowing that, I just want to make it green, I guess. It did end up respecting that purple's resistance and then also bouncing right there. So what I was thinking played out, but it's fine. So that was a little green trade, 109 to 115, very small. If I really got a good bottom tick on here, it actually would have been pretty nice because this was half a point, so I didn't quite get that though. And then this was actually a nice move right here. Very quick candles though, and then just still buying up in this red. So ideally I'm waiting for some structure. I do have green at this point, so I see it pulling away with this bearish controlled buying, and I see a break here and I consider it, but since it was pretty close to an inverse cup close here and pretty close to the green, I didn't. I kind of talked myself out of it, I guess. This would have been a fairly easy trade to take, and yeah, I don't know. I guess because there just wasn't structure again. Kind of part of my reason also. I don't know how to manage this. I didn't have a steeper selling. Oh, maybe I did. This gold. Yeah, but this gold was like too steep. I wasn't sure on that. Yeah, I didn't really respect that. So it might have been a less aggressive selling here that I maybe identified later. Given if I was in a trade, I could have charted it, but it's hard because it's moving. Yeah, I think I did actually chart this later on. Yeah, so I didn't take the break there. It's looking okay, inverse cup, and then I'm like, it's pretty close to the green, although it can always sell through it like it did there. Yeah, and I'm trying to think where my risk management is. Yeah, I mean, this wasn't like very nice going down either. You can see how big these wicks are. It was green and red and green and red and all near low of day, which is sketchy because that could just trigger some buys. So it wasn't that clean like it looks now. I mean, this is a big candle right here. Yeah, that's almost a point. There's this candle. So price target though on it was like, it was right on that green. So price target was nice, but anyways, I didn't take that one. Did I actually? No, I didn't. Okay. Well, I might have. I actually put a limit order and never got filled on it. I'm thinking, yeah, because I ended up canceling it on here. Or no, I'm sorry. Never mind. I didn't. I just forewent that one. Forgone that one. I just didn't do it. Next trade was at 10:38. It was a call. So at this point I'm looking for a bounce because this green is bullish. Bullish controlled selling. And it just broke the steepest. I did have something charted here. Gold. Nice big green candle. I got it somewhere on this candle. Using red for my stop. Given I can just keep kind of selling in green. So it came down. I held through and it bounced. I didn't have this green here, which would have been nicer for managing stuff. But it's the same line. I just moved it down to here, that support and that resistance, and that's where it found resistance. So I could have taken it there. Of course, that's a very small, sketchy, scalpy trade. I didn't, and turned this green trade into a red trade. 10:38 to 10:46, which was fine. I respected my rules on it. Waited for red. This closed below here. I closed it on this candle. Kind of an ugly close. It was like down here. So yeah, this was meant to be a retracement. Thinking green is going to hold support at least. And when it didn't, yeah, when it didn't, I thought that's it. So 97 cents to 73. Next one was at 10:57. This was a put. So breaking out of a selling, I'll go into a steeper selling is an opportunity. And this was a good one. It just lacked continuation. So it broke out of that green selling and do something more like this gold or something else. Maybe this, yeah, both these golds. And volume picks up. Everything looks good. Although I think on the 30-minute on the longer time frame, it was kind of at a support right there also. That was this wick right here. So that green support potentially. So it came up and I got puts on this candle, like right here, with green being my stop. So lacking continuation once again. Let's see, 1057 got it for $1.15 a put. Limit order, market closed for $1 at 1058 on this candle. So quick out, no problem. I think I stepped away then. Let's see. I stepped away for a little bit. Given that could have been a very nice inverse head, which it ended up being. Mind with a lot of liquidity on both shoulders. Next one's at 1103 and it was a call. Oh, I guess I didn't step away. No, it was later. So, kind of waiting for it to break green for that retracement. It broke it here, or well, here, back up into it, and then here, back up into it. So, I charted this one because I didn't have any actually strong buying. I had it back here, but this was pretty weak. So, charted this on based on this price action, and given after it broke back up into this green, I guess I could have gotten the call there, but I was waiting for it to break really here, but yeah, here, and I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I got in just at the worst time, basically. 1103 I got one. Let's see, 1103 I got one for 94 cents, 1104 on their little retrace for 88 cents. Sold them both for 79 cents at 1106 on this candle. Yeah, once it broke out of that gray and kind of was coming back down into green, I was out of it. So yeah, and then I think maybe that's when I stepped away. A lot of red trades to just digest. Yeah, so missed this, unfortunately. That's kind of how it goes sometimes. So waiting for it to break this green or then even this green for the retracement. Given this buying isn't great, but it's not bad. When it came down here, I wouldn't have had that one charted in yet, right? That would have been just down here. So you're just seeing it selling in green, which again it's bullish, but it's still selling. So at that point, probably would have waited for it to break there. So an entry here, if I was at the computer, I think probably would have been warranted, and I probably would have done it. And then used potentially red to manage, or this gray to manage my risk or take profit. So probably would have sold, I don't know how many I had. Probably would have sold probably here, somewhere in there. Maybe would have held, I don't know. But here was another entry right here on this retrace. So breaking this green, retracing, and if you want to look at structure for it, I guess you could say there's this cup that's closing here, little handle. I don't know. I mean, there's of course this larger cup here, and then another cup up here, and on. But the point is it's breaking through these greens selling, controlled by the bulls, and buying up. It wasn't buying up in the bearish red one. I mean, a little bit, but not too much. It broke out of it here, came up here, found resistance on it, and then it kind of started to respect it. So bears are in control even though it's buying. So competing algos for sure all the time. When there's a gap like this though, they're taking profits, getting positions, taking profits. It's a lot of back and forth battle. My next trade was at 12, I think. Yeah, 12.19 for 62 cents. I was into a call, so I did miss this. Came up, and yeah, so this is where we're still in a wedge. So it's a wedge trade. You don't know who's going to basically win, because you can kind of see bulls and bears both controlling the buying and selling. Because this came up and just fully retested this red that it broke out of, which was bearish. But at the same time, it's each time it's buying up and breaking this green, it's retesting, which is bullish. You can even see it here. This is the last one with that wick. So this would have been a pretty ideal one with the highs back here. Go long, and then here on this retest, potentially for that little move. But then nice retest here, which I think is what I actually took. Yeah, this trade I'm actually pretty happy with. Basically the only trade I'm happy with today. Because this is kind of a new. I mean, I see this trade. It's just one I don't usually take. So trying to stretch my ability. I took it for because I missed the break here and the retest there, which was fine. I just kind of was patient, and it went up and kind of chilled, and then it came down, and so this red isn't going to be here, of course. Well, it maybe was, but without that, you just see it retesting green. And I've also seen this cup close at this point. Given it's just intraday, it's not the full cup. But when it comes down here and retests, I am in it somewhere, I think, on that candle. Let's see, into calls. Yeah, on this candle right here, 1218. Sorry, 1219. Yeah, 1219. I get a call here, 61 cents. And then after I got that call, I was like, I need something to manage my risk with. So that's where I threw in this red. And if red is the bearish controlled buying, if it breaks that, probably going to go down. So that's where I threw that one down there. And thankfully it did respect that. Pretty ugly, grindy price action initially, which is kind of hard to hold through. It's not hard if your position sizing small, which it was. This was just one contract. But it felt good to get it on a retest like that. Very disciplined and patient type trade. It's just as long as I can see where how I want to manage it and the amount I'm able to draw down on it. But in this case, it was like perfect because it retested, and I mean, it was slow, but it slowly bounced off of that. Held through all this, broke above the green. So this would be another entry right here. I don't know if I was thinking about it. I was kind of planning on it at one point. Let me see. What price was that? 1219. Yeah, I didn't. I decided just to hold the one since it was still in a wedge. I didn't really want to average into it, which at some point I could. Since I was coming off of quite a few red trades there too. I was just kind of taking it easy. Yeah. So didn't add, but saw that it was still building liquidity back on this green as support, which continued to give me confidence in this trade. But from here to here, it really hadn't gone up a whole lot in value, I don't think. Well, partially because it was a little bit out of the money. Let's see, 12. This was 676. So yeah, still wasn't even in the money. I had a 676 strike. Looking for a cup close on the day. So held through this consolidation. It rallies up. This is when I kind of start to wake up on it. I'm doing other stuff actually, trying to distract myself from all this grind. Starts to wake up with some bigger candles, and that's when I put in this gray buying, and yeah, this is actually when I sold it. So missed quite a bit at the end of the move. Of course, I'm looking for this cup to close, which it did perfectly, but given it's one contract, I'm kind of recovering still on the day. So yeah, a few different reasons, I guess. I didn't really know where else to manage this with. Like, I'm not going to wait for it to come all the way back down here for my stop. Maybe there's a less aggressive buying channel I could see. But, I mean, yeah, not really. At that point, it would just be much better if I'd already taken most of my profit and I can just hold one for my through kind of profit target, which would be this high. That green candle would have been legit. Definitely would have been it. So yeah, I took it there. That was 61 cents to 90 cents. So it was a nice trade. For options, yeah, it was a little grindy. Futures or maybe spreads or theta farming it would have been better. But it worked since it was a small position. I was able to be distracted with something else. But that's also probably why I jumped out here and didn't fully wait. I don't know. Could have done. Really. I don't know. Yeah, again, I think that's just a trade for more contracts if I'm wanting to hold all the way there when it's so slow and grindy. Next one wasn't till 3, so I left midday. left it alone. I didn't check the P&L. I figured I was red. And then I think I did actually check it. So I was red and I was like, eh, I had to do other stuff. Completed this cup. Came down, looked a little jumpy in there. I don't know if there was news going on. I didn't really chart as if I was here, but I don't know if I would have caught anything in there. Definitely would have been looking for that handle. I might have gone in here. Depending on how fast that candle is, it would have stopped me out or not. I don't know. I don't usually have automatic stops. It's usually just manual. This like gold I charted later based on this resistance, and then this support, and then it kind of holding here, then breaking. So that wasn't there. I maybe would have caught this move right here potentially. Hard to know what I've gotten juked out in here with puts. I don't know. Depends on my patience level. Maybe not. Just because we had to complete the cup at that point, so I probably would have been a little more looking for the upside until we maybe broke this down here. So anyways, came up and probably some news. Grab this liquidity down here for head and shoulder, and then I've got red down here. I've got it on those. This would have been very difficult to hold through this if you opened up on the break. I don't know if this purple is doing anything good there, but I came back somewhere right about here, I think is where I came back. So I saw it finally broke the last red here. So I quick was thinking on my feet, and I was like, I could get puts here. It kind of retested it already, so it's not great. And then I also have this green that I just put in. So if it's selling green, I don't really want it. And then it accelerated and broke out of the green. I thought about it here. I don't know. I hadn't been back long enough to really just want to jump on the wagon, I guess. Oh, and I also charted this gold, which maybe messed me up. Which even though, it would have been fine. I don't know why I didn't take this trade. I just didn't have confidence in it. If breaking that green was good, I could have held for a bit. That's too bad. Yeah. So I didn't catch that one. Came up. I'm looking at this wedge coming into end of close in a day. Green and this red. And I think here, where was it? Did I actually? 3. Oh, okay. 30, let's see. 305 was my next trade. It was a put. Okay, yeah. This wasn't, yeah. So I guess it was a little bit of, well, here's the logic behind it. It broke the green in a steeper selling, coming down. I do see orange down here for potential, and of course low of day. It's bouncing up. It retests green. We have big wicks on it. So that's what I'm thinking right here. It's retesting. And so I got in on this candle. I got on a put. Black to continuation, safety to end of day. Broke out of green. I think I closed right there. But it's kind of a large slippage for that late in the day. Large move. Large stop. 305 to 308. 43 cents to 35 cents. Yeah, right here. So that was the thing behind that. It was a little aggressive, I guess. And I did actually consider flipping back into calls then once it broke green, but I'm like, I should just chill out. It's probably going to wedge up into close. So I didn't do that. I waited until it broke this green, which also coincided with the 10-minute. So here's the 10-minute candle right here. Broke and closed above it. And I got it right here, I think, or even on 350. Yeah, 350. I got 2 limit orders for calls for 15 cents. This candle closes below it, and then it just starts to kind of chop. This candle closes below it. It's red. I think I close out on this one. No, it's actually this one I close out on. This one got really red. I close on this one, then it reverses and green candles up. So that actually sucked because that was, yeah, I got 2 of them too. So that's why end of day, like last 30 minutes, especially last 10 minutes, why Eric encourages to only do it only trade it with profits and treat them as lottos, so not really stopping out of them. So very small size and at a strike that'll make it worth it. So I don't usually do that because it's, I guess I'm not usually green on the day, or if I am, it's, I don't know, it's such a small amount for a small account that it doesn't really work. I haven't had a hard time. I've sized down, of course, for end of day a lot, so I've been able to stop out of it, but on a trade like this, the lotto technique would have worked perfectly, because you get in because it broke, and then you're going to hold it, and you have no problem with this. So for me, red candles, I'm stopping out. It's back through. It's very choppy, grindy. Then after this candle happened, I'm like, all right, well, it's actually doing it. It wicked me out. We're holding above it now. Maybe it'll end up being a 5-minute move. So I actually got back in here. 355. Wait, what? 355. 355 I bought. Why is it going backwards in time? What the heck? That's super weird. Well, 353 I sold. Calls for the loss. Bought again at 355. Bought again at 353. I don't know why that's showing up there. That's super weird. Okay. Bought again at 354. Alright, that's weird. 353. So after it did this candle, I bought, I think I bought 3 more. 14 cents, 15 cents, and then my last one was at 17 cents. At 354. Right here. And then this 355 candle comes in, and I close them all right here. Bugger. Yeah, so I double dipped and it slapped me. It wasn't too red that last one though, because I got pretty good fills. 14 cents, 15 cents, 17 cents, and then closed it for 14. So it ended up going up, and this actually right here was 100%. It went up to like 30 something, and then this was 40 cents. But given it really, that candle didn't happen until the last minute, which sucks. The holding through this is, you know, I was hoping that 5-minute candle we were going to see it, and it did grind up, and then you did have that move, but it was in the last literally like 45 seconds, so it's okay. Here are the trades. Let's see, there they are. So I didn't trade too much today. I feel like wasn't too bad. It's weird because I was trying to trade less since I gap trap and liquidity build, and I feel like I did, but then when I see something, it's like, how do I say no if it usually works? So I guess just like, I don't know, not expecting the breakout and the continuation would help. This morning it's like it's just, since it like this kind of move, that's just annoying. And then I kind of was away for some of the moves that maybe actually would have worked for me, like breaking here and then retesting here. I did catch it here, which was pretty nice, catching it from here up to here. Didn't have much size, and I didn't catch this move that bit right there. Yeah, like as the day was going on, I was like, all right, just gotta chill out, just wait. There's gonna be moves later, just gotta wait for it. And then we get this. I thought this, okay, it's breaking. We're just starting to sell. Got on the retest and then did that, and that just kind of, and yeah. So yeah, tricky day. Could have been much worse, of course. I am red. I gave back my profits from yesterday. That's just the way it goes. So down 74 bucks. Gave them back. Hopefully tomorrow I can rein it in a little bit more. Might be some more chop tomorrow. Probably somewhat, unless there's news overnight, because we still have some ways to go until we hit this green. Buying, even if it wants to continue to buy. I mean, you might get like a move down for an inverse head before it rallies. And if we gap or not. If we break it, it still could chop. We could, I don't know. We'll see. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere right now. So I'm not too hopeful. As long as we don't have a big gap, though, I'm hoping the moves will be, I don't know, since we've had such a gap and we haven't filled it. We'll see. We will see. Thanks for watching. Sub up, like up, comment down, hat my sticks around. Let me know down below. Peace out.